Hi everyone, welcome to Oops Parents. This is Gülşah.
This is Duygu.
Today we have a very special guest, Hande Demirtaş, product designer for 15 years and living in Berlin and raising 2 bilingual kids. Hande is from Turkey.
Yeah.
Hande, welcome today.
Thank you so much for inviting. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really looking forward to your questions and spending time with you.
Today we are going to hear her story, the move, the motherhood, and and raising bilingual kids between the cultures in another country. We will get to that, what it actually means to raise a bilingual child. We would like to hear the challenges and beauties of raising between the cultures. Maybe you can start with how did you end up in Berlin?
Of course,
and
yeah.
How does this your immigrant background map with motherhood?
Yeah, so Berlin was an accident. Back in Turkey, I've been looking forward to another place to move because I didn't want to live in Turkey back then for a longer period. I was 25, I was young, happy. I want to, experience another culture, especially maybe a little bit Western culture, maybe US or somewhere in Europe. And I did a couple of job applications. I didn't realize, but I accidentally applied somewhere in Berlin. And that happened.
Really? You really?
So it's some
Totally
person accident.
accidental.
I didn't, plan to move in Berlin, but then I moved to Berlin, and it was a epiphany of, I think, our generation. But back then, 11 years ago, I moved to Berlin in 2015, and it was fantastic place to be for a 25-year-old, for both, navigating in life and the job and everything. It was fantastic. And I spent 5 years without children in Berlin, which I'm really glad that I did. It was fantastic. Then I became mother 7 years ago. Now I have a son and I have a daughter. I have 2 kids. Yeah, my then immigration mom story began. It's a complete different new chapter because you are not in the system, I believe, until you have a child. I mean, you are in part of the system. Definitely, we have jobs, we are paying bills, we have houses to live.
You are paying
friends.
taxes for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, almost half of my salary back
the
then.
most important part.
I realize when you have a child, you are in the system completely, you are integrated. But especially in the school system, it was super different. At least for me, so the Kita kid and the school kid is different as well, because you are realizing, at least for the Germany, what does it mean to be German and how one becomes a German, because it starts in the school system. For instance, as a small example, Germany is the only place that you cannot do the homeschooling. You have to go to school, and this gives you a little bit information of how does life works in here. So how you become a good citizen, what does it mean? So that was for me as a small
And your partner is also Turkish?
So
He
people going to be my same question. No, it's all good.
He's Turkish as well. That's an interesting thing as well.
And do you do speak German back in that, when you become parents, you do speak German or?
We spoke German, but very little. I wouldn't call that we were speaking German. That would be a stretch. We've been speaking English at work and the Turkish at home or in the friend circle if there is another Turkish people. After the school or when the school ages, getting closer and closer, then that was a necessity. Okay, I have to learn German. So then I start to learning German and taking that seriously, because it's the system you are seeing that system and it's approaching. Also, you want to be a citizen as well, so you want to make everything as easy as possible for your children, or your home, or your family. So you are taking all the measurements that you can get, because you have to compensate what you don't have in here. So you are taking anything you can back, creating that life as secure as possible.
Yeah. I think that becomes more visible. I also start feeling very insecure because my German is also intermediate, I will call it. I can make some conversations, but when your kids start engaging with kindergarten or schools, then you start feeling insecure about it.
Totally, we are not in Kansas anymore. That's a whole new...
The immigrant part is more becoming...
True. And other parents also coming into your life. Your friends, your children's friends, moms and dads and other parents, and you don't want to be the parent, hey, we speak English. I understand.
Although Berlin is quite multicultural
exactly.
city, still you feel that.
But still you feel, and you feel in a different level. Okay, you didn't do it for yourself, also you did it for your child, but But I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, so your child is gonna be, I'm sure, very, very happy with or without German of the parent.
Yeah, but you gave birth to your two kids here in Berlin.
Yeah, they
And
both-
like compared to like all this motherhood journey from pregnancy to labor and then like having toddlers
Yeah.
and taking them to the school.
Yeah.
Do you think that like the one of the most challenging period for you for your journey was the when they started to kita or kindergarten? It was the
I have lots of horror stories, like no emotional stories. I don't know if it's maybe too intimate, but gonna be interesting for the audience. My son was 13, just a year old, and then he got a febrile seizure. It's called fever cramp. When the fever is so high, then the child is going into a seizure mode. That was the time, for instance, I wasn't speaking German very well. I called the ambulance, and they didn't speak English. And my child in my arms, I didn't know there is a thing. Still, like there's a febrile seizure, and I thought he's passing out or something, like something happening. And then that was one of the points, the breaking points. One
for
thing.
you too.
Other thing, my son got 4 years old or something like that, and you're anticipating the cultural things in Berlin, for instance. Latina, you celebrate with the kindergarten, but I never heard that song in my life. But these kids and their parents grow up knowing that, you know, there's nursery rhymes, and I had to memorize. I'm so sorry. I had to memorize before night, and what is this, and you know, I want to help him. I want to make him. We are belong here.
Yeah.
So this is another one.
Yeah.
But still, in overall, I don't want to give in all any negative thing because
I think it's not about negativity. It's like like your honest moments that how you felt. What was the most vulnerable point
totally.
in your journey, and like this is how you. In your story, it is like this is how you started to see the growth path as well. It was both vulnerable, but also like and invited to.
Very good point you made. That made us as parents, as a person, as a woman, just for myself, more resilient. I think we are extremely resilient and we are extremely flexible. And I wouldn't change anything to that power that comes from that resilience. Yeah. So I'm really glad that whatever happened,
it happened for a reason.
For a reason, now we are stronger, more flexible, more resilient. So yeah, I wouldn't say that, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not
I mean, definitely it was challenging, but I was also wondering regarding raising a kid in a culture and in a language that you don't speak well or you still didn't embrace as a whole as you described. But probably there's also like not only challenging parts, but also more fascinating, more enjoyable, more beneficial parts both for you, but also the kid.
Exactly.
Yeah, for instance, like seeing, you know, Ari, my child now, you know, we're sitting on a table and then like I tell something and then they translate to their father directly. I'm like, wow, a 2.5-year-old whole like I said the Turkish and then they're like, Papa, Mama möchte coffee. You know, it's incredible to see that. Like I don't know, like having such a language skills. This is fascinating, definitely.
And being bilingual is a gift for life.
Yeah.
I mean, by default, you're thinking faster. You have more opportunity in your brain when there's a situation you don't have a one road. You have by design, by default, you have more than one ways to think. You have two cultures to gather from, like even the wisdoms and what we love at it or how things are done. So it's giving us, I think it's a fantastic thing, raising a bilingual kids. Also raising kids, any kids, this is a fantastic journey. I really like, that's why I did the second one. I enjoyed it, but I will say it's come with really, really good benefits as well.
But apparently, like although you had fascinating moments, apparently as a parent, at some point you realized a need for like supporting your kids' journey to learn and observe this language in the most convenient way. You came up with an idea. How does this story?
I would love to talk a little bit about Logoyo. So Logoyo is a platform that we are building with our team, with the top universities in Berlin. I'm really happy that we have an academy now backing us with Humboldt, Frey and Technische Universität. So we are working together with them and we are trying to help. We are in a mission to help support the multilingual kids in their confidence the most. Because we know when the children have this confidence, they're gonna speak, they're gonna do whatever it takes. It's not about accent, it's not about wrong grammar, but it's about the confidence, finding the confidence with their voice and feeling good with, you know, what they have, with their two cultures, two languages, or some 3, 4 in some families here in Berlin. Our dream or our KPI, I will say in a terms of startup world, when the kids raising their hand in the classroom, answering the teacher's question, this is the moment for us, okay, we did our job very well. What is Logoyo? Maybe I can talk about that. It started
Or maybe
with my...
before going like
Yeah.
deep diving
Yeah, yeah,
the
of course.
Logoyo, how
It came about.
yeah, how did the story start? Yeah, please.
Of course. So my son was 5. His kita told us that he's a bit having trouble with the speak and he's not able to pronounce it, the German words very well. He's a bit like lisper. And then we think, okay, yeah. And they said there is a way for it. There's a Logopädie, speech therapy here in Germany that you can, go and get support, get therapy from there, and it's gonna be okay. And he was 5, and then we start looking for a place to get support. And then we hit a wall that many other parents hit before us, waiting list. Like any other thing.
For anything in Berlin.
Anything in Berlin, everything is cheap, but everything's so expensive in the city. So yeah, we hit this waiting wall, and during that time, I look for something like if there is some interactive game and the tool that can support, him while we are waiting, and I couldn't find anything. Back then, there is nothing that support us, and then he started. Of course, time had passed, and he started going to Logopädie, and I was with him most of the sessions. So we sit together, and they did some exercises. Also, the therapy is 40 minutes per week. So it's, if you wanna see a real progress, you have to do it every day. And then I realized why there's a waiting list, because I talk with other friends, other parents around me, other immigrants or the expat parents around me, and I asked them, what is your situation with the language? Do you go Logopädie? And you guys, if I ask 10 people, 9 of them said yes, we are going to the Logopädie, or we said there is a need to go to Logopädie. One of my friends said, okay, we are going there, but not because of a therapeutical reason, but because it's like a private German class. And then they hit me.
Free.
It is free, exactly.
Because the insurance
that's why they are
covers it.
Exactly, because insurance covers it. Yeah, it's taken an advantage, also not, because one of the reasons that they are sending here is the language support need. This is also a term that you can send from that. And the statistics are crazy. 70% of the children sent to the Logopädie because of a language support need diagnosis. So
in Germany, this is the
exactly.
in
Germany, yeah. In Germany, like 42% of the families are multilingual. 57 here in Berlin, so it's a crazy number.
It's
a crazy number.
Yeah.
So maybe it helps. We are not the only ones.
Yeah.
And we are not the first, and we are not going to be the last, if that helps. So then I said, okay, at some point I was working in an office day, and it hit me one day, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do what I do. I want to do something useful, because there are a lot of families like us, a lot of kids like Batu, like my son. Fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. And then I quit my job, and then I start working on Logoyo to ask the parents around me and gather their ideas, what they think, what is hard for them. And then after I landed on, we got funded by the Berlin Senator now at the moment in order to improve Logoyo. So this is how my journey started. Now we are 4-people team. Right. We have 3 scientific advisors in our board, so everything is science-based. We have a linguistic person, we have a cognitive development expert, we have a pedagogue in the team, so we are working for the kids, like our kids, for every kid in Germany to support in their journey.
The statistics that you share, quite impressive, and it's also what you said is true. I mean, although everyone has their own unique journey, but when you see the numbers, you are not alone, and there are the kids and parents in a similar situation, more or less in the similar situation. So as much as tools and platforms supporting them that we have, I think it's gonna be easier for all of us.
Definitely. The best thing, of course, to having the kid to speak in the social life. There is nothing gonna be as good as 2 people talking in the park, or 2 kids engaging in the park. But if you need at home, if you need a little bit more gamified the language, why not?
So what you're gonna offer in the providing the logo is gonna be gamified
100%.
Conversations or
we told a lot about that, about the foundation of it, and then we adapt this Kruger's methodology. So what he said in educational perspective, when the children feel safe and when there is an interest that children is really into, then they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn naturally. They're gonna learn fast. You cannot accept a fish to run. It's the same thinking. What do you mean by how to apply then for an app, for a game, being safe and interest? So we have houses. We have like space house, the tour house, I don't know, toy house. So there is something I'm sure that every kids are gonna be interested in, and we have a safe learning methodology. So we are never letting children feel like they are incompetent or that they are not understanding. So we are supporting their effort. So this is how we build our methodological or the pedagogical thought behind it.
It's going to be like a shared experience, like with parents and the kids involved in this gamified experience, or it's going to be only the tool, the app, and the kid?
I mean, at some point,
or both.
At some point,
Do you want to give some sneak peeks from your app?
Oh, I would love to. Yeah, they can join logoyomini.com and they can take a look. For now, we are inviting the parents as well. That will be fantastic if they sit together and the kids play. For now, it's for the kids, but for the future, our dream is something screenless that you can still engage and play, like a box toys, that there are lots of sort of that toys that you can talk. But for that, we have to overcome a very big technical thing, which is AI, kids' voice, and GDPR in Germany. But we are working really meticulously on that. So I don't want to put anything in child's lab if I'm not letting my children play. So we want to find a sweet spot. They are safe by any means.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's really important for us.
Yeah, it's really coming from your heart, this product.
100%.
So what I also wondering is that, like, based on your own experience, but also I'm pretty sure you made like so many user interviews while you are developing the idea, like ideating and developing the product. So what were the most common issues you identified within the immigrant parents, like international parents and their kids? What kind of challenges that they are having to raise bilingual or multilingual
I will
kids?
answer this. I will put in two different buckets from my experience. I've been talking, like you said, I've been talking with experts. What I mean by expert, the authority, like the teacher in the class, or the kita teacher, or the kids psychiatrist. I've been talking with that people as well. Also the parents and also the kids.
Yeah.
So therefore,
So you have all stakeholders, insights on the table.
And on the table, exactly. So therefore, I would answer this question. I put in two buckets. So the one, realistic problems that they face day to day, and the second bucket is what the parents think that children are experiencing or they're gonna experience. It's really hard to divide this because it's really hard to divide yourself from your children up until some age. Psychologically, it's really hard to separate yourself from your kids. So it's, you think you know better than anyone, but you don't know how the kids are reacting in the school or in the kita, right?
Not at all, because they spend like 5-6 hours and then they come home and sleep.
100%. You have an idea, you have a perception how your child is reacting to the outer world, and there's an inner world that you have. So therefore, I would say that the parents are scared the most when, for instance, the children are mixing the languages. So the half is Turkish, half is German, half is Russian, half is English. It is okay. It is completely okay and a part of the normal language development. And it's also a super good sign because that means that both windows are open. So the kids' brain is feeding into two languages.
Yeah. Absorbing the all
fine.
options. Yeah.
Completely normal. The other thing, they are not speaking so fast in one language. That's also a misconception and a wrong perception, because how the logopedist or the clinical linguist count total words of the kids is speaking, not the one language. Say kids is speaking 20 words in one language for a 2-year-old and 40 in another language, then you count as 60. So it's good. So
That's what I realized in the pediatrician checkout, like this 7, I think, or 6, I don't know which one. So you have regular checks for the kids. They give me a paper and saying like how many words they speak at age 1 or I don't know 18 months. I'm not sure at the moment. And then they specifically wrote, okay, it can be Turkish, English, German. So count them all like without. But that makes sense. I mean, in the end, like they are just defining some of the items based on like what they heard the most.
Yeah, because between 1 and 3 ages, there is no differentiation for them, like as a two separate language concept. No, it's there. It's just, or they have this separation somehow, started to develop this separation somehow, but they probably as far as I know, like they like up until 2, they don't specifically
exactly. How the
say that
language
this is German,
acquisition-
this is
No,
Turkish,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah,
English,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's more like
It's situation based. The language
yeah.
acquisition happens in that age, and that is situation based. And how we learn, how we also, as a human being in general, we acquire the language also situation based. So as a kid, you never say, okay, this is the grammar and the verb in this. No, you learn that in this situation, this has been said, or this is how I, say, and how I get help, because it's directly linked with the need. When I need something, it generally happens like that, eh? Like I'm hungry or mama, because you need something. So it's what I say in that situation. So that's the first bucket was, like I said, the general is the concern that parents have, the school success, if they're gonna successful in the school. Hopefully yes. It's also linked, we know from the research, is highly linked that if the parents not rich but academically advanced. In Germany, the statistics say that. So you don't need to be a very rich person, but you have to be reading with your kid, and helping the kid, supporting the kid, and being there and make them cuddle them and here and there. And it's gonna be really supporting in the future life. Also, how get accepted, how if the kid is accepted by the education system. This is something that we cannot control.
Yeah, that's also very common, as far as I know, in Germany, at least, that many immigrant people or parents that talks about it, like especially. I mean, they don't in the schools. They can be, they can seen as an outlier, or they can be like by teachers saying, okay, they don't speak the language properly, or they don't show like proper language skills, so they're not enough.
You mean only the
certain-
B12 education, or also in kitas and kindergartens?
No, not in kitas.
I think they are like more
it's like
relaxed and
primary.
welcome, right?
But it depends on the neighborhood. Also, you guys.
Also city. I mean,
It's really, I'm
City
really
doesn't.
sorry, but it's bilinguality in the countries, like European countries, depends on which the other language is, how you are perceived. If the other language is more
European,
Western accepted language, your child is, unfortunately, that's the reality. It's not gonna be they are not gonna be having the same reality. So it really depends on what is the second language.
how they've been treated.
Exactly.
In the way how they're treated. Yeah.
So when the kids have a Swedish accent next to German, what's
It's
the problem?
cool. It's cool, but it's like Arabic or
Exactly.
I don't know, Turkish or whatever.
Exactly. So it's not the same.
Polish.
That's the reality.
Yeah, also looking at like the immigrant background in Germany, Turkish, Polish, quite a bit of number of like population exists here, but it's not one of the like languages
Cool.
they teach. But
Languages.
they teach in school Latin, I don't know, Spanish, French. Yeah. That's fine, but they don't teach like Turkish or Polish, where they have.
So did you also observe this, like in your?
I mean, I definitely did observe, but not like firsthand. But when you become
like
a
through
parent,
your interviews,
definitely your eyes are more open. I mean, you are more receptive about what's happening in your surroundings, what's happening in the park, how these two moms finding each other, how these two kids are playing with each other. So you have an idea of what's happening around me. All of us. I didn't personally have this bias or the racist experience, but it doesn't mean that there is no.
It's not. It's not.
Bias. Yeah, for sure there is. But there is also the other side of the medallion, right? I want to also talk about this. So in some classes, for instance, like in Logopädie, there are some classes that happen to a friend of mine, 30 children in one class. They are all ASDs in the first class. And there was only 4 children speaking German. The rest 26 gonna learn German in the class. So
this is also
not normal. This is also bad. So it's
challenging.
Exactly, it is challenging
for the
everybody.
student, a teacher, challenging for the school,
and for this poor kid. I mean, they also starting their academic life. They may be super excited. They had this tutors with them in the first day of the school, and they are realizing, okay, kids, we cannot take care of you because there is this amount of kids needs to learn German fast in order to kickstart their academic life. This is also bad. But then it's a systemical thing. Then I can say it's not that person, this person. It's not gonna get us anywhere. But it's the systemic thing. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to build on Logoyo or to work on such projects. So it's all of our problem maybe next to government level.
To support in
Yeah.
many and
Yeah.
various ways
Yeah,
to.
you know, just the saying, the villager, being a villager. I'm really wanna be a villager. In that
Yeah, this is why we also started this project. Is
100%.
also
Yeah.
coming through the similar reasons and needs that okay, we are raising our kids, or I want to be I want to raise my kids and I want to be parent here. So but how are we gonna make the life easier both for myself as a parent but also for the kids, and started to feel here like more confident, more as home.
One thing I want to say, I also talk with when I'm talking with the parents and the teachers and the kids, I also talk with the immigrant children that they are now in our age. So they immigrated, their parents immigrated in Germany back in the 60s, 70s, and I asked them, how was your experience? So
Probably they were
double the answers that I got. One of the group was saying it was so hard because also it depends where do you live and how much your support you get from your parents for sure. And the other group was saying, no, I always felt like part of the society. Again, depends on where you live. Maybe you are in Berlin. No, I always part of the society. But my parents felt like how you are feeling at the moment. So the feelings are not that unique. We all feel the similar fears, we all feel similar shame. I wouldn't say so. Some of them was really hard for me.
Maybe as parents we might probably also projecting our own fears, and the kids are not exactly going through the same experience. This is for sure.
Very true. That happened to me
So
in the
maybe
first day of school. I thought, okay, but I don't know, we had a Logopädie journey. If he's gonna talk, if he's gonna feel confident. And in the first day when they do the celebrations, teacher asked the question, and it was 100 people in the sport hall. And about to raise his hand, and it was the only person. You know,
and you're like, my kids.
I did it. I don't care if he's making a mistake, because mistakes for the kids, they're gonna make mistakes, and it's okay.
But the enthusiasm that he's showing.
He felt strong enough to raise his hand. I think this is the super important to having that, giving that the fire to the kid that you can do it, but without of course making them like egocentric, weirdos. You have a nice balance. But if you are not giving that believe to your kid, then who is gonna believe your kid if you are not believing in the first place?
But you were
sorry.
you were mentioning misconceptions and mentioned two
buckets.
Two buckets.
Talked about first the buckets, what the general misconception when they are mixing language. If my kids are gonna be successful in the school, and the third one is the panicking parents. I understand. I do panic as well. We all do panic. The kids are really important. We care them a lot, and when there's something wrong, we wanna help, we wanna support, we wanna do as much as possible. But the panicking is not gonna take any of us to anywhere. I would say just take a breath, talk to your Kita teacher, talk to your school teacher, talk to Jugendamt, get help. There are ways to get help if you are feeling really panicky, and there are really nice and sweet people working in that field. Leave the panic behind the door, face the reality, and whatever is accepted, and go from there. I've seen lots of kids, including my kids, is starting with a lack of German or the poor German and improving very quickly in very short time. But the panicking probably wouldn't be helping. But what we did, we read together. When there is a screen time, we did turn this into German. When there is a story time or the audiobooks or whatever, it's always in German. And we put the effort to having a play dates with other kids. And then when you all do this together, I'm sure that's gonna get better. I've seen really lots of kids closing the gap very fast.
And at home you speak Turkish, right?
Yeah, at home.
That's why.
But now we are in that weird phase. Maybe 6 months ago, my son's Turkish, when he is speaking Turkish, he was speaking Turkish, like full sentence in Turkish. But now when the school is getting advanced, he started to mix again, like back in 3-year-old. Now there is no sentence fully in Turkish. Probably then we're gonna do now what we did back in 3-4 years ago. We're gonna do it in Turkish as well. So we want to support his Turkish as much as we can, because it's important. It's our family language, not because it's Turkish, but it's our family language we all feel are most comfortable, and it's emotional language. It's also very important. Kids have that emotion language they are learning from when they are very small at home, because this is hopefully the place you felt most safe. That language is always gonna be the minority language, home language, the language of the emotion and how they feel.
I mean, in my case, my partner is German, so we speak they said my partner speaks German and I speak Turkish. Exactly at that phase at the moment, like mixing both words and speaking with German accent when they speak Turkish. So it's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, they they say salad, like salad
Yeah,
or
salad.
something. Zalat. I'm like, how did you get that? Zalat.
Sen
That's
ne
so-
yaptın?
Yeah.
Sen ne yaptın?
Yeah. My daughter is doing that a lot now in the same language. So, yeah. That's very normal. It's very, very
Yeah.
normal. And the muscle also. But imagine, so in the kita, they spend 6 hours and they are looking at each other's face when they are talking. Of course, at home they are looking at us, but this is a social place and the place they wanna be as something maybe. So it's very normal when they are mimicking what is spoken the most around them. It's very, very normal.
Yeah, it's just fun to see.
Yeah, it's very fun. Exactly.
It's one of the beauties. Sorry.
About the parents panicking, when a parent like start to observe that there's some sort of difficulty learning either the native language or the German, what do you suggest to those parents to do, like as first few steps to deal with this situation and to take action instead of panicking?
First, I will say I'm not a therapist, but I've been talking with therapists because of Logoyo. So please, whatever I'm saying, take with a grain of salt. I don't want to be, claiming. What I observed in the past last year from the parents and the expert around me, there are mandatory steps that parents need to take. For instance, before going to school, all the school doctor is calling the kids, calling the family, and you are being in front of a school doctor, and the school doctor is making an evaluation about your kid, their language, their physical well-being, and how they do, and they are giving you an evaluation note to the school, so they know this kid, for instance, needs language development, or they have a muscle development, or whatever the case. They are doing an evaluation. This is one, for instance. On the kitas, before that, the kita teachers are doing, of course, 3 times a year or 2 times a year, depending on the kita, talking with the parents, what they think. They have this list of the things they have to check. It's coming from the Jugendamt or the Kita-Träger, whichever the company they are working with. They have these things that have to feel about the kid. And they are doing supervision with each other. If there is something off, and the supervision result is okay between 2 teachers, they are talking with the family and they are warning them. This is what's happening in the
Background.
in the background. What happens at home? Of course, there are different levels of language problems, right? One is accusation of the language for a developmentally normal child, and there is also other buckets. Kids in the spectrum, for instance, and there's different needs of evaluation. If the kids understanding me when they up until age of 2, they are making any effort to talking. I'm talking about the developmentally normal kids. I'm here, and this is a therapeutical level. This is a different kind of conversation. When I would panic if the kids understand and they are talking, but suddenly they stop talking after the 3 years old, maybe when we are eliminated the other possible reasons. That could be a selective mutism, for instance, when the kid have a problem or when there's an emotional problem with one of the languages, like being super ashamed in the school, for instance, and they don't want to speak German anymore. Could be a reason. Some traumatic experience. Then definitely I will get help. Or when the kids stop
help through a linguistic therapist,
exactly,
for instance. Right?
Maybe the pedagogue and the linguistic therapist. Selective mutism is more therapeutical thing, or the pedagogue or the psychiatrist level. But all in all, what I would suggest, talk to your kita teachers, talk to your school teachers. They are very open. They really like when the parents are taking the initiative and talking with them and asking how my kids are doing. This is my concerns. Because you as a parent, nobody can know your child better than you. Ask and tell, this is my observation, what you observe. For my experience and what I heard and what I saw, they really, really like it, that, being cooperative way of doing, because there is a 3 ways: kid, school, or the kita, and you. So the 3 has to be working together in order to have that success.
And then from there on, it depends on whatever the kid's specific situation.
Exactly.
The both medical or therapeutic support
or social, maybe the kid needs more friends and
Okay. Should we slowly wrap up?
Yeah, maybe last question with Logoyo. And then we wrap up. So when Logoyo coming, how parents can engage with Logoyo?
Of course. So what you can do, you can follow us on Instagram. That's probably we're gonna give the news, when there is a news and there's something important or a milestone from the Instagram account Logoyo Mini. You can follow us on there and you can join our waitlist. Also, if you are interested, and we will be really happy to build Logoyo with the families, mind-alike families like us, then we would like to please reach me out. I will definitely add my mail.
Yeah, we're gonna
some
add your
contact numbers.
details. We're gonna add your
And
details.
I would
in
love
the
to have
description.
your feedback. I would love to be test family as test family. Definitely. Yeah, if there is something that this project, something that you might be okay. I have my own ideas and words. Please reach out. Otherwise, in 2 months, hopefully it's gonna be iOS and Android.
Good. Congratulations. Thank you, Hande.
Yeah, thank you
for
very
being
much.
with us.
That was very valuable conversation.
Hopefully.
Yes.
It was definitely. Thank you.
Thanks for opening up as a migrant mom.
Thank you.
So follow us, subscribe to Oops Parents we are on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
And Spotify.
And Spotify and all the other podcast platforms.
Perfect.
Ciao.
How was it?